Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be like a pay-to-play thing. If this is on your OnlyFans.
Bloop boop boo. Bloop doop doo. Bloop doop da boo.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael.
I'm Rameen.
Christopher.
And today we're going to talk about some of our earliest crushes and maybe find out the most heartthrobbiest heartthrob of 1985 to 1993. So happy Pride. This is our yearly Pride video. I want to sort of continue what Rameen started from last year and have it be more of sort of resilient Pride. Wishing everyone a resilient Pride. Yeah. Okay, here's how this will work. We have each chosen 5 crushes from the years 1985 to 1993. Now, we are too young to have really had crushes during those years, but these are real people, actors, characters in TV and movies, or video game characters and cartoons and so on that were from this period of 1985 to 1993, but when we got to our teen years and were starting to have crushes, we developed crushes on. We are going to rate each other's choices with the following criteria. When person A gives their first crush, the other two will give 1 point if this is somebody that they could have seen themselves having a crush on when they were a child. They will then give a second point if this is someone they could see themselves having a crush on now. In the case of child actors, it's okay for a child to have a crush on a child, but not for an adult. So for that, we will look at an adult version of this actor and see if we would still have a crush on this person as an adult. There's one final point that we can all give, and that's if this person is also on your list. So everyone will have up to 3 points that they can give to each other person. Okay, let's get on with it.
I'm happy to go first. These crushes probably were no tea, no shade, y'all. The earliest in my life compared to like where they fall on everyone on this call's timeline.
Calling us old,
These are
Rameen?
my 5 out of 5 because I was 5 in the year 1993. No, I didn't practice that intro. Yes, it was charming and witty. First up, we have Harrison Ford. Technically, an Indiana Jones movie came out in this era, but Harrison Ford really is a formative crush for me in general, from everything from Han Solo to Indiana Jones. There aren't many movies I've seen with him in them that I'm not like, oh. Harrison Ford of a certain era will always be a crush to me.
Was Harrison Ford on your list, Christopher?
No, he was
Not mine either. But totally get it as a kid and as an adult, totally get it. So I'm giving him 2 points.
got the jawline, he's got the hair. Love to see an older man succeed. So I'm all about it.
As far as I can recall, Harrison Ford is the only man my mother and I both agree on. I don't know what that says, but Michael, if you want to snip that out, you can keep it if not. I decided, by the way, this is going to be my signal in the video every time I say something, that if you want to snip, you can.
So my first one is Joe Torres, who played Danny Lightfoot in Hey Dude. He was the Native American character. First of all, just based on looks alone, that hair, it stirred feelings, even when I was young. And there's also a deeper layer to it. Like, I grew up on a reservation, and the fact that there was representation of a native man and that the native man was friggin' hot, that's a double for me. Also, like, Dude Ranch. And I grew up in Eastern Oregon, which is renowned for cowboys, roundup, that type of. So it's a triple threat. He's lovely. I looked up what Joe Torres is doing right now. Seems like there was some like uncertainty about whether he was still alive or in a car crash. They found him. He's alive. Again, that was one of my first Nickelodeon crushes that ticked a lot of boxes for me.
He's definitely on Erica and Molly's lists of early crushes.
I truly think this was my favorite childhood show. And I cannot even tell you why, except for the great character development and the fun stories and the fact that it came on in 1989 and was on in syndication like literally forever.
And also the hot Native American cowboy.
Yes, Danny was cute.
I actually didn't remember this show until I just Googled the picture and saw the hot Native American cowboy, and now I remember it.
I never watched Hey Dude, but when we talked about Hey Dude on this channel, Yes, he gets definitely 2 points from me.
I was definitely too young for this show at the time that it aired. I mean, I think the oldest I was like 3 when it was on TV. I do vaguely remember it, and looking up photos of him now, I get it as an adult why someone would have a crush on him.
No. I have 2 that I think might be on someone else's list. I've got 2 that are weird, and 1 that is very typically me. That is just so typically me, oh baby, baby. So I think I'm going to start with one of the ones that I think might be on your list and save the weird ones for the end. I got to start with John Stamos, Uncle Jesse in Full House.
Also
Yeah.
on my list.
I figured.
Also on my list.
Okay.
Jesse Katsopoulos, baby. Speaking of hair,
Yeah, the hair and the dark eyes and the attitude and
The motorcycle.
the motorcycle. Whenever someone has a sense of humor about themselves, that's always like a couple extra points on the hotness scale.
I feel like in every situation, he just has that charisma.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Mm.
All right, well, I'm removing him from my list, but my next one on the list is a cartoon character, actually, Aladdin.
I was expecting him to be on your list.
I was 5. Well, no, when Aladdin came out, I was 4.
You probably still got it later. What did you like about Aladdin?
He was like a combination self-insert for me, so I don't know what that says. Maybe that's a little weird. Do this if you want. He had like a spunky, mischievous attitude, but he also messed up more than one time. I don't know, I can't really think of many other Disney male leads who had been like that until that point. Aladdin was hot. He had a vest that was open. I don't need another reason than that. Screw you.
I didn't specifically have a crush on him as a kid, but I get it. So I'm going to give a point for that.
In that moment, like when animation could kind of be hot, he was the one showing chest,
Yeah.
right? So, deaf, I understand it. Also, he dressed fly as hell too. And he had a magic carpet and a genie. Like,
And a monkey.
I'm not trying to say anything about gold digging, folks, but you know.
And a monkey, but the monkey is actually like negative points on for me.
The gays are known for having short relationships anyway. You would date a guy to have 3 wishes.
Just stay in his ear. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to wish for, but I would like to suggest. I tried to spread it out amongst different media. I don't think any of y'all will have this on there, but I was a fan of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. When I was growing up, wrestling was a big part of our weekly visits with my aunt, our daily visits with my aunt, and there weren't a lot of hot wrestlers in that time. Just gonna be honest about it. I don't think cute came into play for a while, but one of the first ones to do it and do it well was Shawn Michaels. He had charisma, talent, stamina, that hair, that feathered hair, a great outfit, an incredible intro, good music. Like, I fell for him for sure. He's still a joy to watch. I know we're not counting that now, but
Is he still wrestling?
he's definitely not wrestling anymore.
I was gonna say.
But he's a joy to watch in interviews talking about wrestling. He made it look so effortless, like it was something he was born to do. And I'm really attracted to folks that have purpose and have fulfilled it. And, you know, he's hot. He makes you feel good. And he made you feel like you wanted to come to a wrestling match or you wanted to buy that pay-per-view.
I get it.
Reluctantly, question mark?
Yeah.
I get it. I think he is like very conventionally attractive, like most wrestlers, a very developed body and such. I never really was into wrestling like that, but you know, I wouldn't say no.
I don't know if he would have done it for me as a kid, but I think especially as a kid, I was so against anything like that seemed violent or aggressive. So I think I probably would have been turned off by that, even though wrestling is theater. I'm not going to do the other one that I think might be on somebody else's list. So I'm going to hold on to that one. I'm going to go to the one that is just so typically me, oh baby, baby. Gambit from the X-Men, the 1992 cartoon. The accent, the way he was so smooth, and he was usually pretty suggestive with the women, except for with Rogue. It was sort of, you know, the on again, off again, will they, won't they, especially because of the danger in their relationship. And it was one of those things like I didn't know if I wanted to be with him or be him. As a kid, I thought more be him, but looking back, no, I wanted to be with him.
I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't have Gambit on my list. I absolutely get it as a child. Although, honestly, if I really think about it hard, X-Men, I found most of those guys pretty, like, as a kid. I mean, remember, I was wee when X-Men came out. Really, the only one I think I probably would have said no to is Wolverine, because, I don't know, he's always been, like, so testosterone that it's like a caricature of manliness. But Gambit, absolutely, like, charismatic. Gambit is kind of the Han Solo of the X-Men universe.
To sort of go along with what you were saying, Rameen, like as a kid, I had a brief fascination with Cyclops too, but it was largely because of the love triangle with Jean and occasionally Emma Frost and being around powerful women. And I thought I liked the women in like the hetero way, but it's like, no, they're just like divas.
You just wanted to go shopping with them.
Yeah. I wanted Emma Frost to say, just get whatever, it's on my card.
So are we saying, in other words, that it's like Gambit, Cyclops, Wolverine in F, Marry, Kill?
Looking back as an adult, like Cyclops now being such a Boy Scout, it's like, no, come on. No. Gambit all the way.
I will completely support Gambit. The nerd in me loves the fact that he uses kinetic energy, which is such an untapped area, and the power that he has is so special and unique. And also he's got that weird face thing going on. Like, I don't know what that mask is, but still, yeah, he could get it for sure.
Both as a kid and as an adult from each of you, or just one or the other?
I'd say both.
Yeah, I'd say both. Okay, so important clarifying question. Are we only talking about Gambit from the X-Men animated series, or like Gambit, the cultural character entity?
I'm saying the cartoon character because that started in 1992. If we open it to too much, then there's all like the weird like other versions of Gambit that are lame.
Like Channing Tatum.
I mean, Channing Tatum is super hot though.
I know, so that could sway you.
But it's not the same kind of charisma as the OG character.
But a dialect coach needs to talk to Channing Tatum about
I mean, but that was also part of the joke of the movie, so
fair.
If Michael's going to pull this crap, and so am I, I'm saving my big, sexy, everybody loves this one for the last one. So I'm gonna say my other pick is Theo, aka Malcolm Jamal Warner from Cosby Show. In my opinion, this makes sense both as a child, if you like grew up with this show, as well as an adult, as in looking at adult pictures of him now, because Malcolm Jamal Warner is a beautiful man. I thought he was cute when I was a teenager watching this show. I think he's cute as an adult, very handsome. And his character on The Cosby Show was a really nice kind of balancing point between all the really big personalities in the rest of the family. He was like frequently kind of the comic relief when there were a lot of other big scary issues being discussed, although, you know, he had his plot lines too, right? But yeah, Theo from The Cosby Show.
I didn't watch the show a lot, so I can't think of what I might have thought of Theo as a kid. But adult Malcolm Jamal Warner, absolutely yes.
I don't know if I would put Malcolm Jamal Warner in the yes column. Like, appreciate his talent massively. Don't know if I'd put him in the crush column.
That's okay. I'll get you, my pretty.
We all don't have to agree, right?
No.
That's the point.
I thought we were friends.
Okay, the next one is a movie. I don't know how many people have watched Don't Tell Mom, The Babysitter's Dead. Okay, cool, this is gonna be lost on you. But in that movie, Christina Applegate is a star, like a beacon of light. And she has a younger brother named Kenny Crandall, who is the punk rock dude. And when the parents are gone, he's the party instigator. I was attracted to him there, like just to start. The leather jacket, the studs, the punk music, all about it. And then in the second half, he cleans up and realizes that he wants to be a chef and has this whole evolution that works so well for me. And I just thought he was attractive across the spectrum. He was a really good actor for the part that this required. And he killed someone. He didn't kill someone, but he helped bury her, which is only a step away. I'm not saying that I advocate murder or that I find murder attractive, but when you do it in a leather jacket with studs, you know, I probably would have done the same thing. And I'm just a big fan overall of this actor. I don't know how much he did after that.
Also, he has long hair, which is one of your... It's a no for me, dog.
Same. And that is nothing against long hair, because by the way, in my initial drafts of my list, in my very early stages of my extensive preparation process, about 30 minutes before we started to record, I had certain long-haired individuals listed. I actually had human form of Beast from Beauty and the Beast listed. But anyway,
Oh, no.
But I'm sorry.
Sorry, no.
Bro, really?
No, the beast form's way hotter.
I mean,
Yeah, why are you tripping on him, dude? What?
we're getting off topic. I looked up pictures. I don't see it, but
Yeah.
I'm glad it brings you joy, friend.
I also had, especially when I was a kid, had long hair obsession, but it's mostly because I wanted long hair and I would like wear a blanket over my head and stuff all the time.
We were doing drag. That's early drag.
We were liberating ourselves.
I tried to wear my mom's stilettos. They are a lot more challenging when your feet don't fit them, and also just heels in general are challenging.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching. Are you enjoying this? Please give this video a like if you like it. Please subscribe if you feel like it. We mostly give reviews and other rambling type things about music and video games and other media, but occasionally we do some fun stuff like this, and this fits in with our chronological look at media from 1985 forward, hence why we stopped at 93, because that's where we are. So if we do this again, maybe we can do it with later years. Follow us if you feel like it. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so this one is not necessarily as weird, but it's another long-haired guy. It's just very specific. In the music video for the Red Hot Chili Peppers song Under the Bridge, there's a part where Anthony Kiedis is running toward the camera in slow motion, shirtless. And I was obsessed with that when I was a kid. You see his pecs bouncing in slow motion and his hair flowing behind him. Totally did it for me as a kid.
I completely see Anthony Kiedis. I wasn't even a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Like, I've really only listened to, I don't know, maybe max 10 of their songs, but yeah, totally get it.
He doesn't do it for me anymore, but that Anthony Kiedis from the early 90s, yes.
Yeah, I'm same. And I can also see how, like, you know, an adolescent would be turned on by Anthony Kiedis as well. Maybe not like a kid.
I know that moment in the video. It's a prolonged moment in the video.
Yeah.
And yeah, 100%. And also having the swell of that song, which I also love so much. I'm a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, so all about it.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the big guns with this one because I'm playing my final suit. What is it?
Hand.
Stupid Knots. Carrie Elwes, and specifically Carrie Elwes in Princess Bride.
He was almost on my list. I did cut him to get to 5.
Oh, that's a good pick. Solid.
Definitely 2 points for me.
I really don't know any person who is attracted to like masculine presenting people who does not find Carrie Elwes in that movie specifically hot as fuck.
I
So,
didn't.
hot as F. Snip. Demonetized. Okay, I'm going to make it a meme, Michael. We're making this.
Okay. I did not see Princess Bride until I was in college, but I did see the Mel Brooks one, the Robin Hood one. Yeah, Men in Tights. Still hot in that.
Yeah.
So it definitely gets 2 points from me.
Oh, 100%. I haven't seen The Princess Bride either. I don't know if you're going to revoke my gay card or something like that. Come and take it. I got blades by the door.
We do need a movie night to get you up, but you can keep your gay card at this time.
Girl,
Men in Tights, girl, yum. My God. All of it from beginning to end. Like, he is the hero we all need.
And if we need a movie night to catch Christopher up, I would have to be locked in a room for like the rest of my life to be caught up on movies. So that's not fair.
Next one is from a video game, Kung Lao. He was my main, and he was the one with the hat for folks that aren't
Yeah.
aware. Any man that can slice someone in half with a hat or decapitate them, all in. I just have so many fond memories of Mortal Kombat 2, particularly when I was in undergrad. We invited a friend over all the time who would play with me, and he was so good, and the only way I was able to beat him was with Kung Lao. So I also have like kind of a hero arc going on with him. I mean, come on. If you use fashion as a weapon, sick. His outfit was sick. He's stacked. Like, come on. He can teleport. Please.
So yes, and I'm like agreed on all fronts. I would say like I would agree as like again child meaning like 12 and up, just because I feel like Mortal Kombat isn't really appropriate for too young. But Nevertheless, I do have a follow-up question for your celebrity ship, Christopher, which is, Michael and I have both at this point said something akin to, like, at least one crush being something of a self-insert. Michael, I hope I'm not, like, paraphrasing you too hard there. Would you say that this is your self-insert moment? Is it giving self-insert?
No, but playing as Kung Lao did definitely make me feel empowered, and I'm not sure if that qualifies as self-insert. It definitely is one of the people that I enjoyed the most stepping into who they are and just beating the hell out of people mercilessly.
Is it self-insert or insert yourself? You can cut that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be like a pay-to-play thing. If this is on your OnlyFans, but
Or
you know.
Patreons only. Christopher's weird fantasies about video game characters.
My obsession in Mortal Kombat was always Kitana, but again, like the diva worship sort of way. Kitana always was like, I want to be Kitana.
Oh, the fans. Oh, the metal fans. Oh, get into it.
Yeah.
And they've only evolved positively since then. You can hold somebody in the air with them.
Mhm.
Love her. But she's a chick, so I thought that was out of bounds.
So as a kid, I don't think Kung Lao would have done it for me, but as an adult, I definitely see it. So 1 point from me. Rameen, what do you think?
Oh, I already thought I gave my points. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I didn't hear.
On both fronts, adult and child. Again, child meaning like this is
Yeah.
a teen game plus or whatever the rating was back then. I don't know. Did they have ratings back? They had ratings back then.
Yeah, it started because of Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, snap. Look at you, Christopher. You also are in love with the trendsetter.
I'm a franchise boy.
Rameen, that's your entire list because I got one of yours, right? Okay, well then I'm just going to give the one that I thought was going to be on your list. Commander Riker, Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Wait, Star Trek Next Gen is on the list?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Did you not read the list?
I did read the list. Like I said, in my extensive 30-minute preparation period, excuse me. Point of order, if we're talking early in our lives, as in we had a crush when it came out, which I know that was not the requirement you listed, but that is sort of where I went with my list. Too long didn't read. I was way too young to understand Star Trek Next Gen in these years, and my parents didn't watch it. But as an adult, absolutely.
Oh, no, my mom watched it, and I was like, he sits on chairs weird, and he's got a beard.
Isn't it fashion? I'm actually going to say I disagree that a kid would have a crush on Riker, only like that it makes sense for kid me rather. Not for you, for me. Rest in peace, Chick the Caliente. But anyway, just because to me Star Trek Next Gen isn't really a kid's show.
Yeah, well, I wasn't watching it. It was just my mom was watching it, and I was in the room.
To me, if I'm a kid having a crush on something like in that early phase of my life, it's got to do with like, you know, my ability to identify with it to some degree as well, right? Like Aladdin, for example. Yeah, I don't think that child me would have had enough to identify with to be like,
Yeah, I didn't grow up with that, but yeah, he could definitely get it as a grown-up. Should I stop saying he could get it? He's attractive, like he's looking very smoldering to me.
There are supercuts of him sitting in chairs weird. He never like sits the normal way. He almost always does the kick his leg over to sit thing.
Is he trying to relate to you?
He doesn't usually sit backwards. It's like he'll like kick his leg over to sit on it forward often. It's very strange, but it's like, all right, show me what you can do with that leg.
There are many different ways to try to relate to people. It doesn't just have to be like the dangerous mind. Turn your chair around, look.
All right, do you have a last one, Christopher?
I do. So the last one is music. I struggle with this one. I would love to do some honorable mention, like George Michael. Yum, obviously representing our people before he like even was able to speak about it publicly. Tupac, Jesus Christ, like a fucking poet and a legend. And all those
That
abs.
album art,
Oh, the
though.
abs and the tats, like
On his face. Gorgeous face.
so beautiful. The one that I went with for this list is Dave Grohl. I have a thing with drummers. I don't know, like just the ability to keep time and serve as the backdrop for such an epic musical group. Plus the face, beautiful. I still have a thing for him.
Well,
And he's only gotten better with time. Like he's aged so well. And even back when he was with Nirvana, like the energy and his poise and the way he spoke in interviews and the way that he's carried on a lot of the ideals from the group. He's one of my favorites of all time. And I carried him into the Foo Fighters. I'll still keep watching him.
Also super impressive that he could be playing the drums that aggressively and sing the high harmonies in the live shows. Like,
And he's a singer! And he's a singer!
I think as a kid I would have gone more for Kurt, but as an adult I get it. I get Dave. So I think I'll just give one for Dave Grohl, but yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, my reasoning is similar to Michael's. I would do one as an adult, but not as a kid. But like, super respect Dave Grohl as a musician, and also like very handsome man. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Also has a good sense of humor about himself.
Have you seen his series with the Scissor Sisters?
Huh.
Yeah, well, I will send that to you.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
All right, so here's my weirdest one. From the video game Altered Beast. You start the game as a guy just in like trunks, and that's it. But then as you power up, you transform first to just like a big, like impossibly muscly guy. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Like, it was originally an arcade game, Coin Muncher. First you transform into a big muscly guy, and then into like a wolf, and then into a dragon. I was kind of obsessed with the player character in that game, especially because in Nintendo Power, there was an artist rendering of him like somewhat mid-transformation, and it looked more realistic than the giant muscle man. But like, this is me even before I realized that I liked men, looking at this drawing of this character thinking like, that's really cool. That's a cool drawing. I like that. And now it's like, oh, that's what you were thinking. That's the weird one for me, but that's the Altered Beast player character. I'm fine if that's a 0.
This is the first day I have heard these words paired together in thus manner, Altered Beast. I have never heard of this video game until this day on today.
Altered Beast.
So, I did look up pictures, and many abs were seen, many pecs were a-peckin', and so, I get it. I get why a kid, yes, 1 point.
Michael, I'm gonna give you a 0, babe. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I understand.
Can't do it. I can't do it. Either one.
Like Christopher, I also had a couple honorable mentions. Like, I also wanted to try and get a musician in here, but looking at the musicians who were active in this time, there wasn't one that I really had a crush on as a child or as a teen. If you asked me now, Prince would be like at the top of the list. Goddamn, Prince was a beautiful man and incredibly talented and so charismatic on the stage. But yeah, I really wanted to have a musician, but there was nobody from these years that child me would have been into.
So maybe for this last round of like honorable mentions, because I made a whole list, but just really quick, maybe we could all just go through people we would like to add in retrospect.
Mine's gonna be really brief because my only honorable mention has already been mentioned, and that was Prince.
One of my favorites was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I was wondering if someone was going to say Jonathan.
Yeah,
Thomas.
that one hit. David Duchovny from X-Files.
That I get.
My mom and I used to watch. And I was watching mostly for like the mystery, but also like because David Duchovny was wicked hot.
I never watched that as a kid because I was afraid of it.
Yeah, me too. So it would end at 10 o'clock and I would have to go to bed just freaked out. Like someone was gonna creep into our house. It was terrifying. Big Pete from Pete and Pete. Love a Ginger. And also Ferris Bueller's best friend, Alan Ruck. Oh my god. He had the hockey jersey and he was the hotter of the two.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember some of my other honorable mentions, but I can't think of any.
I actually remembered one of mine, and I imagine it'll be on at least someone else's list. Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, done. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Absolutely get it. I didn't have a crush on him as a kid, but I could have easily. I'm surprised you didn't say the Green Ranger, Rameen.
Was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers around?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I guess Green.
Well, Tommy, duh.
Ranger.
And also
Like-
Billy Young. Come on. And he's actually LGBT.
My extensive preparation was so extensive that I extensively did not include Power Rangers.
Rameen, I thought we were supposed to take these videos seriously. Like, did I fuck up Michael? Like, am I the one that messed up by doing too much?
This is basically serious journalism that we're doing here. Okay, well, I think we can start wrapping up. Any final thoughts from anybody?
This has been really fun. I hope everybody has a marvelous Pride. Not sure what's going on with Pride in DC, but hopefully it will be there.
Well, luckily, Strathmore is picking up some of the Pride events that were kicked out of the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, but I wanted to go see Troye Sivan.
Did you really?
No.
Okay.
But I want the option. Please, folks. Stay strong.
Yeah.
Right? Happy Pride. People are still here to support you.
Absolutely.
We are alive and well.
We got to stick together. We got to stand up for the people who are more marginalized than us.
But include ourselves too.
Absolutely.
LGBT folks.
Stick up for yourselves. Yeah.
And the community is here. It's thriving. It's bubbling. This is not game over.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Up here is another video that YouTube thinks you like, to Christopher's side. Down here is a playlist of other videos like this, of our miscellaneous videos, so check that out for more nonsense. And that should be about it. Maintain your groovy selves.
Bye-bye.